Look, I don't know about nobody else, but I'm just really over this foot on people necks and knee on necks. And okay, what we gonna do?
Slap them back, put your knee on their neck. How about that?
Well, I am like Martin. I'm non-violent. Well, let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it.
That's what I'm saying. The scriptures say, the kingdom suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. We gonna take it today.
Okay. Welcome once again to Grace Talks with K and with T, where you will learn to grow with a little grace. How are you today, Kay?
Hey, I'm good. I'm on the upside of the ground, so I can't complain. But I do have a lot I want to talk about on today.
Let me tell you something. I feel you 100 because last week, yes, we really did introduce ourselves, and yes, there's still more to learn about us, but I just couldn't hold out any longer. I really couldn't. Racial injustice.
It's a lot of that going on right now, and it's very prevalent for the simple fact that social media is driving this car. Social media is allowing everyone to see what's going on across the world in regards to racial injustice. So I feel that that's right. Yeah, we should talk about that today. Like even as of recent, such as George Floyd, who was suffocated by a police officer that kneeled on his neck for 8+ minutes. Like, what type of malice do you have in your heart to kneel on someone's neck, another human being, for 8+ minutes?
Have you any idea? Let's go here for a second. Have you any idea how long 8 minutes is?
A long time.
I wanted to say at the funeral, they said that there was a moment of silence during the eulogy at the end for 8 minutes.
That's a long time. When they take moments of silence at school or anybody in military pass, it's for 1 minute, and it seems like we're standing there for a whole 30.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to fathom the same question you asked. What in the hell is going on with this man? What is going through his brain? Nothing. To say, okay, and can we review that, and we'll move on to the next person in a second. Sure. But I want you to review with me the details that you shared about what actually happened, what led up to Floyd being on the ground.
Well, watching the media clips on social media, as well as watching the clips from the surrounding stores, I do see that there was a call that was placed out, potentially that there was some fraudulent activities. Keyword, potentially. Supposedly it was a $20 bill that was fraudulently presented. $20, people. So you're telling me somebody's life is worth $20. Well, they pulled the car over. Floyd gets out. You can kind of see where he might be talking back to the cop, trying to figure out what's going on. But not at one point in time did it seem like he was resisting arrest. They walked him across the street to the actual vehicle in which he became deceased by. They pushed him in the back of the vehicle. My understanding, he was complaining that he is claustrophobic. They decided to use force at that point in time and beat him in the back of the actual police car.
Probably because of the fact that he is experiencing the claustrophobic moment, so his body is probably reacting to it. So now it's like, oh, you about to do something to, I guess that would probably be
Yes, it's the whole flight or flight. Anytime you have a claustrophobic moment, and if you actually look it up, you go through several different stages of anxiety, as well as what might consider or feel like an asthma attack. I have asthma and I also suffer from anxiety. So I know how that feels. At times your body will react in ways that you have no control because you're trying to obtain air. So if you're restricting his air or he's not able to get that air, what do you expect? Give him aid. Don't pull him out after you beat him up in the back of a vehicle. Pull him out. Now, mind you, it's 3 against 1. This man is handcuffed. He's already under duress because of the claustrophobia. But then you decide that you want to take your knee, of all places, and place it on the back of this man's neck. 3 officers. You had every part of his body covered, but you opt to put your knee on his neck. Think about that, people.
Breonna Taylor killed in an unannounced police raid at the wrong house, which was her house. We also have the issue with Philando being shot at a traffic stop after complying.
Yes.
I really don't want to skip ahead, but I'm being tempted to skip ahead because I'm like, so how does that different from Mr. Crucius? Or we'll talk about that next.
Okay, y'all, we're back. This is Kay, and we're continuing to discuss today about racial injustice. Now, before the break, we were just discussing the issue with Philando Castile and how he was stopped at a traffic stop with him and his fiancee and little girl in the car, and he was complying. He advised the cop who asked, "Did you have a weapon in the car?" He said, "Yes, I have a license to carry." How do you ask someone to produce identification if they're not allowed to move to get the ID? He asks him to produce identification. He goes for the identification. Police officer shoots.
How many people, I'm sorry, I have to jump in. How many people, how many situations have to happen over and over? Okay, so for those of you who may not know, I'm a Black man, born and raised in Louisiana, more specifically New Orleans, but pretty much living every moment of my life in the South. Mm-hmm. I've seen it all. I really have. I've seen a lot. I have really seen. And so, though I was raised to love God, to love people, my mom didn't raise me to, my mother didn't raise me to hate. She didn't raise me to see color. She raised me to understand that no one is better than you, and you are not better than anyone. Your job is to do your absolute best in every situation that you're put in. When you're out in life, you give people respect, and they should in return. This is what I was taught. Okay, this is not what I'm saying happens, but this is what I was taught. If you give respect, then you should receive respect. That's what I was taught. What do you have to say about that?
I agree with you. I was taught the same thing, but this is one thing that's point that people don't understand. Growing up Black, African American, I'm a Black female. Growing up, one thing that you have to understand is, I know for myself, I was never taught racism. I was always taught, like you said, treat people how you want to be treated, treat people with respect. Because one thing we already knew, i.e., what I said last time about my grandmother, there's already certain stereotypes people have about you being Black to begin with. So we don't want anybody to be treated how we have been treated.
Right.
So that's why we come to the table a different way. We don't come to the table like we own the table. We come to the table to share the table.
Right.
But people of other ethnicities decide that they want to come to the table to own the table.
Why is that important?
They feel ownership gives them a superior stance or superior overlook in regards to things. Not knowing that superiority, to me, when you have to press your superiority, shows to me a point of weakness. It shows to me a point of insecurity. Because if you know your strength, you don't have to walk around and flex your muscle to show that you're strong.
Well, therein must be the problem then, because there's a sense of insecurity that exists that says that because I'm insecure of who I am, and I dealt with this in life, so that's why I can speak to it. Because I'm insecure of who I am, I'm going to demand that you respect me. I'm going to force you. I'm not going to ask or require of you. I'm going to force you to give respect. And if that means holding you in bondage, another word that we're taught is witchcraft. So if I can hold you in contempt, if I can hold you in bondage, if I can keep my knee on your neck, then that means at that point, I'm above you. So now I go back to this point of Mr. Crucius. How many times a young man of African American descent, Black, whatever you want to call him, is not holding a weapon,
majority of the time,
and is shot down like a dog, whether he's doing the act or not at that moment, shot down because of suspicion. You have this man, you have this man in Texas,
El Paso,
of all places,
going into a Walmart with the AK-47. First of all, I don't know too many Black people who own AKs. If they do, they're in the hood.
That's number one.
They keep it under wraps because they're doing some stuff they ain't supposed to. Okay,
right.
Unfortunately, our counterparts, Caucasian people, they have access to these weapons, knowing that they have certain issues, mental whatever they want. When
you said access,
license.
You said access. That's a good word. Now, can you elaborate? What do you mean by access?
When I say access, that means first of all the finances to obtain it, the whereabouts to obtain it, as well as a lot of times when it comes to getting these guns, quote unquote, legally, you cannot have a criminal record. You have to go through a certain background check, and majority of African American, anyone of African American descent, a lot of times you're held hostage at the background check.
Right.
You know, or even if you're able to legally obtain the gun, you're not going to be able to obtain as many guns as our counterparts.
Exactly.
They might allow you to get 1 or 2 9mm, but I bet you they'll block you from getting the AK. But even in that scenario, he walked into the Walmart fully in the video. He walks in full gear, gun in hand. I'm trying to figure out how did he get past loss prevention? How did he get past the cop? I know most Walmarts have somebody security outside road. How did he walk into the store with the AK and the headphones on? He came in ready to shoot because he knew AKs make a lot of noise. He ended up killing 23 people. There was 23 more people that were injured. And we're not even going to talk about the people that were traumatized after that.
Countless.
How do you imagine going to the store to get your children food and you hear pow, pow? I know my kids sometimes like to roam and go do other stuff in the store. But after this, they have to stay next to me in the store. When I go inside of any Walmart, I have to pay attention. I don't care if I go in Target. I have to pay attention to listen out for any pows. Some places that you have a sense of semi-security, now security is off limits. But let's go forward. They subdued him without injury. He has an AK-47, an assault rifle. He's subdued without injury.
let me add this. I was reading the article online, and it says that he drove to the corner and surrendered himself.
Hmm. How was he able to even get to the car? But no, we're gonna pause right there because that's something to think about. How was he allowed to get to the car? But the black male, Stephen Taylor, was wielding a bat, a baseball bat. Keyword, a baseball bat, aka baseball bat. In a Walmart, same location, just different state, in San Leandro, California. Do you know that the cops came in? Now, mind you, this man had a mental illness.
So someone called the cops from within Walmart.
Yes, because he was wielding a bat. He was not acting very, I guess you could say, stable.
Normal, okay.
You know, but anybody who has anybody in their family that has mental illness or have dealt with it themselves, you can kind of know the signs of what's going on. You can kind of see what's going on. But he's wielding a bat. He has not physically harmed nobody. He has not shot anybody. He is wielding a bat, meaning swinging a bat, for those who don't know what wielding is. And the cops come in, and your response outside of taser or trying to talk him down, hey, what's going on? It's going to be okay. No sense of patience. You decide your best effort within 3 minutes of entering the store is to shoot this man. A bat. AK-47. AK-47 gets to walk away after he done killed 23 people. A bat.
So no one was injured. Nobody. No one was injured.
Nobody. Injured to me is killed, shot. He.
Hey, you're loud.
I'm trying to bring it back. He was out there pitching for the Orioles. Okay, he was well in the bat. Okay, he did not hurt anybody, but this man gets shots multiple times within the Walmart.
You know.
So my question is, where is the patience? Is it because he's black? You don't feel that you need to execute patience? Do you feel a person of a different persuasion or different life background is more capable or applicable or more? Basically, do you feel like they're superior in receiving good quality policemanship?
Let me interject. You spoke of the word patience. Anger management or therapy at this juncture of life, especially in America, I believe should be something that all Americans are exposed to. So law enforcement is even a greater standard at that point. In speaking and referencing our meeting, not only should law enforcement go through their normal training for boot camp or whatever, police academy, but there should be a third party outsourced into the police setup to provide access therapy or psychological or sociological or psychoanalysis of everybody that works for that location. Correct. Because now you have people of all races being placed in situations and circumstances that they're mentally not able to handle. So correct. Patience goes out the window.
I mean, patience was even brought to the window. They left it when they put on that badge. They left the patients at the house when they had to deal with the kids, but they didn't bring them to work with them when they came to work that day.
Well, here's my question. I have a question for you and our listeners. Please, when you get a moment, send us an email, grace_talks@grace-4-life.com. Please chime in. But here's my question to you, Kay, and our audience can answer as well. Why do you believe there's not a balance in ethnicities of police officers responding to these events, whether it's in the hood, whether it's in a rich neighborhood, as we call it, or if there is a balance, where are the Latino cops and Blacks in the news stories when all these major issues go down?
I don't like to put it like this, but I'm going to put it like this. I feel like due to the way that society is set up right now, the police are more prone to put those who feel that they're superior in an oppressed neighborhood. Because you can only gain control if a superior person continues to press on those that are oppressed. But outside of that, I don't feel that a lot of people, or as they would say, minorities, are a part of the law enforcement field because, one, like I stated, once you're convicted of a particular crime, you're not eligible. A lot of people are being convicted of crimes that they should not be. So that's one thing. But also, I do believe that people see exactly what the police department is dishing out, and they feel like they have no leg to stand on. Why should I join the blue? Why should I be a part of their team? And they just gonna do what they want to do anyway. Why should I go in and put my neck on the line for people who won't put their neck on the line for me as a regular civilian? You know, so I feel that it's different factors that come into play when it comes to really thinking about that. When you sit there and say, okay, well, if I'm this one Black cop around a whole bunch of white cops, what difference can I make? What difference can I make? Either I'm going to be a part of status quo and follow what they say, or I'm going to stand on my own and reap what I decide to stand different or against. And some people are not strong enough to be in that particular position, but I know somebody who is.
Well, on our next segment after the break, we're gonna take it even deeper and discuss good cop versus bad cop. Stay tuned to Grace Talks.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. No, wait. It's free. There's creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. No, wait, did you hear me? It is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
When you say, I was like, ooh, okay.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Grace Talks. We are live with K and with T, and we're talking about racial injustice.
Yes, racial injustice. But particularly, we're going to talk about good cop versus bad cop. Well, I don't feel all cops are bad. I don't feel all cops are bad.
I don't either. But I want to say this in reference to the good cop. Do you remember in school meeting Officer Friendly?
Is that the DARE officer? I didn't ever knew his name.
No, it wasn't the DARE officer. It was just this.
I remember Mr. McGruff, the dog.
Okay, it was during that season of life. It was during that season. But basically, Officer Friendly was simply an officer that came to the school. He was, I guess, partnering with your actual school. And his job was simply to tell you about safety and the traffic light and other things that pertain to being out in public. You know, if you feel that, you know, you get lost, and you can always walk up to a cop and they would help you. You know, you dial 911 only in emergency, all this kind of stuff. So basically, we were trained to we were trained to trust. Take it, Kate.
It hit different when you're an adult. It hit different when you're an adult. It hit different when you're an adult. But I understand we were taught that, you know, we are to trust, keyword, trust.
But I'm not in
the
that
police
place anymore. I'm not in, I'm just saying.
You're not.
I'm not
but
in
see,
that place.
I don't want to go too deep, but it says, put not your trust in man. But we're going to roll it back in, because I'm not taking y'all today. We're talking about in the good cop versus the bad cop. And I have a good example of this. I don't know if you guys heard about Carrie L. Horn. She was a Black female police officer, a part of the Buffalo, New York Police Department for close to 19 years, a little over 19 years. Well, back in 2006, while on the police force, she was out on a beat, and one of the fellow officers, a Greg Kowalski, a white male, he had a Mr. Neil Mack in a chokehold while handcuffed. Now, Carrie L decided to take it up on herself as a cop as well to stop him from administering this chokehold to Mr. Mack. Well, guess what happened? I consider her an angel, a good cop. She's like, he's already handcuffed. Why are you even attempting to administer any more restraint towards him? Well, in 2008, 2 years later, and literally a couple months shy from her retirement, she would have made 20 years, they fire her. They fire her under the pretenses of back in 2006 that she could have put that particular officer at danger by stopping him from administering a chokehold to Mr. Mack. She received no pension. Couple years down the line, the cop that choked Mr. Mack, Mr. Kowalski, he was charged for excessive use of force, unlawful force, and was sent to federal penitentiary for 4 months. Now, mind you, that didn't happen all the way until 2018. 4 months for using excessive force against 4 Black teenagers. So I guess he got a month for each teenager, I guess. But this was back in 2018, which was 10 years after Officer Horn was fired. So you're telling me you allowed this man to use the same excessive force over and over and over and over and over again for a decade before you guys decided to do anything about it. And then the officer that stopped this from going on, from someone potentially losing his life, she gets fired. Oh, did I mention that she was sued by the officer back in 2011 for defamation?
No, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to leave that one because I want you to tell me, how do you feel about that scenario? How do you, as a good cop, try to do what's right? Basically, you get overlooked because the bad cop gets more, I guess you could say, I don't want to say compassion, but have a little bit more leverage. And I'm not going to necessarily make it a race issue, but I am. Because
I do have an answer. I do have an answer, and I struggle with this answer being honest. And I'm not just going to speak on just cops, but human beings in general. We're taught to do right, no matter how anyone treats us. That's what we're taught. I'm gonna go ahead and admit it. That's what we're taught. Mm-hmm. However, I struggle because you've heard of Keeping Up with the Joneses, and it's used in different connotations, but I'm going to speak of this. It's a learned behavior at times, the way you treat people. Okay?
True.
It's a learned behavior. True. Watch this. Though I'm taught by my mother always do right, treat people right no matter how they treat you. I watched her get treated wrongly, whether it was on her job, whether it was by family members, whether it was by friends, co-workers, neighbors. And I watched her react, and it was not always good. Learned behavior. Hence, I say, to me, I struggle with the good cop syndrome, because it's like, it's like this. At what point, how much dirt do I allow you to do me before I can get to retaliate? Now, what I just said is not popular, and we probably will lose listeners, because I love I treat people like I want to be treated, but there are moments when you do me dirty that I feel otherwise. Now, I'm going to say this: if you're telling me you're just always a good cop, and it's the badge on the line, and it's you know, okay, God bless you, God bless you. But at a certain point, when I've done good and I've done good and I've done good, and you treat me like dirt, you got to think, what if? That's all I'm saying.
That's true. They always say, and I'm gonna say this just lightheartedly, they always say turn the other cheek, and I tell people I only have 4.
Wow.
After them 4 are turned, you're gonna get whatever comes out.
Wow.
So tread lightly.
Okay. So, Kay, I'm gonna move to the next question.
4 cheeks. That's it.
After that comment, Kay, I just go ahead.
Am I wrong? How many cheeks you got? Last time anatomy class taught me I only had 4.
What do
and 2
you
of
believe?
them, wait, 2 of them, they can kiss. That's all I gotta say.
What do you believe took so long for her situation to be turned around?
Honestly, right now, her situation is under review.
Still?
No, what happened is they just opened it back up after George Floyd.
Okay.
They just opened it back up because, like I said, she was fired a couple months shy of her getting her pension. Too often, these cops that commit these egregious crimes against civilians, as I would like to call them, they might get desk jobs, they might get transferred to another county, they might get transferred to another city, or they might do a retirement, but guess what? They still get their pension. Why she didn't get her pension?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out this. If I get convicted of a crime, okay, and certain things are not afforded to me, whether it's my right to vote, whether it's my right to have a certain job, whatever it is, things are taken away from me. Why is it when a bad cop reacts in such a negative way, they really only get a slap on the wrist, which what you would do to a 1 or 2 year old toddler, and they get to walk off in the sunset with all their coins? I need some answers.
So in that light, we're still dealing with white privilege.
That a lot of people don't recognize is a privilege.
They won't. No. I can't agree with that. I think they acknowledge it. I think they realize it. I think they choose to wear a mask and play as if it's not something they're participating in. That's what I think.
That's true. They probably don't want to admit that they're participating in it, because at that point, then that shines a light. One thing that I've learned about people is that you can walk this earth without any accountability. Accountability will hold you to the knowledge in which you have obtained up to that point. If I walk around dumb for the rest of my life, I'm not calling anybody dumb, but if I walk around dumb for the rest of my life, and what I mean by that is not be aware, awakened, enlightened about anything in life, you cannot hold me accountable to it.
Okay.
But once I'm aware, awakened, and enlightened by life, there's a certain accountability that is placed on me as a person. So if I don't have to acknowledge something, I don't have to be accountable for it. And that's the problem. They don't want to be accountable for the knowledge in which they obtain. They want to walk around dumb acting like everybody else is crazy, when in actuality, they're crazy. And when I say I mean those that are not learned, those that decide not to be educated, those that decide not to be enlightened, those that decide just to sit back and be aloof in this life. Yeah. I'm not saying white, black, orange, purple, green. No, what I'm saying as a human in general, if you decide not to enlighten yourself and you want to walk around completely ignorant to the fact of what's going on, what has gone on, what is going on, and what will go on, I pray for you.
Well, as I give you the last question before we go to break, I really would like to hear your honest opinion. And I want to say this also. It is very, very disheartening at this stage of life that there was a season of life that we as Black men with our children or our young males, more specifically, could probably consider having the conversation about the police and being stopped or being racially profiled. We could probably wait till about the age of maybe 12, 13, maybe back in the day. I would say probably early 90s, you could probably get away with that, the very, very early 90s. Now, 5 years old, I could be stretching it by saying 5, but you have to start that early now, having the conversation. Hey, when you go outside, when you are here, when you are there, when you are dressed this way, when you do this, when you're with this person, when you're in this neighborhood, this is how you should act. It should not be that. Children are supposed to be innocent. They're supposed to be just living, experiencing, having fun. That's it. But now you have to worry about you could possibly be shot.
Yeah. That's like, back when we were growing up, we used to be able to go outside with the little toy water guns and spray each other, and not think nothing of it.
Good point.
I can't have anyone that I know that has a Black male as a child, even my children as females, run outside with a water gun anymore. Because then I'm scared. Like the young man, was it Tamir Rice, who was playing in the park? And he was shot by the cop because he was out there playing with a water gun, from my understanding, or some type of toy gun. It was not a real gun.
Yeah.
And if you watch the video, the cop came out shooting before his door even opened up good. So I have to stop, and I cannot purchase certain things that I was able to purchase as a child. Oh yeah, I used to have the super soakers, the mini soakers, the little pocket packs. Baby, look, it was summertime. We live in Texas. It's hot out here.
We're ready.
But now I have to be like, oh, well, we can't get these little super soakers because I don't have time for a cop to think that you carrying a gun in your pocket while you outside playing with the neighborhood kids. I have to go outside and police my neighborhood when the little boys are outside. I don't know how. I really don't see their parents outside, but I go outside and I talk to them because there's a lot going on. You don't do certain things. Don't sit on nobody's car in the neighborhood, because where I live, it's not just Black people. There's Asian people, there's white people, there's Muslims. We are literally like an interracial pot in my neighborhood. But I have to tell these little children who may not be learned, who parents might not pay them that much attention, certain things you just can't do. Don't throw your trash on somebody's lawn. That's not your house. Don't lean on somebody's car outside because that's not your property. If you take somebody's toy, you break it, your mother gonna have to replace it. It's just certain things that, like they say, it take a village.
Yeah.
I talk to the kids in my neighborhood, and they know what they can and can't do. They know when they come by my house, don't drop your trash. If you want something, come knock on the door. Don't ring the doorbell once. Don't ring it 5 times like you the cops. Like, it's just certain things that you have to take the time. But also in that same breath, I will say this. Too often now, because the way things are set up, that we do have to educate those that are younger than us. Some parents don't want you to talk into their children. But my thing is, I might see something that you don't see. I'm not coming to you in malice or your child in malice. I'm just trying to help them. But that's true. You say 5, I would say when your child's able to comprehend. When little boys want to play cops and robbers and they do a little pew, pew. I don't even think they can do the finger pew, pew no more. It's like, put your finger down. Because I don't want your little brown, little chocolate melanated hand is an actual gun. And they want to rough you up. You at school, in preschool, you run around chasing little kids. Pew, pew. Guess what? They got cops in every district now. So the district police going to come pick your child up because your child playing what we consider as childhood games is our age.
Wow.
This is stuff that we literally have to think about.
Well, we have to say, We're grateful for good cops like I don't know if she was a sergeant, or I'll just say Miss Horn. We're grateful for her taking the stand that she did. And as we go to break, if you can answer it, or if our listening audience can answer it, uh, tell us about any other stories similar to Miss Horn that you may be aware of that we can share and spread light upon, where a good cop like Miss Horn, whether no matter it really doesn't matter, you know, their ethnicity. I'm just concerned that we share the good news instead of the bad news regarding the police department.
I have one other cop. I'm trying to think of his name right now. He's very prevalent, I think, in Arkansas, if I remember correctly. Um, Let me see. What is his name? I'm sorry. I'm trying to really look it up real quick. But I can't think of his name. I'll get it when we come back from break, because he actually patrols a Black community. Now, he has a Black wife, yes, but his interaction with his community is wonderful. And the reason why I say that is because he knows everybody in the community by name. If they're homeless, he feeds them. Not saying all cops got to do that, but he checks on them. He goes by the elderly house and checks on them. He has some people that are in the area that have special needs. He takes them once a month out for lunch, a couple of them. He got the kids winter jackets when they graduate school and show them his grades. He goes and buys them books. Now, to me, that's policing. I'm not saying every cop has to be that friendly or that far into their job, but just showing general respect in the area that you are policing will make a difference. It will make a difference in regards to people's respect for you as a cop, respect for the badge, respect for blue in general. Just get to know your community. But I'm going to get his name and I'll let you know when we come back from break his exact name, because you guys need to go give him a shout out. I can't think of it right now. I forgot about my buddy. You know, I don't live in Arkansas. But we about to go to break and we'll be back shortly at Grace Talks.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. No, wait. It's free. There's creation tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. No, wait, did you hear me? It is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
If you have a question or would like us to discuss a specific topic, Grace Talks wants to hear from you. You can email us at gracetalks@graceforlife.com. That's grace_talks@grace-4-life.com.
We are discussing racial injustice, and one major thing that does come up is the problem of insecurity. We find that people of power sometimes feel the need to uh, force their influence, force their power or their prestige or anything of that nature over those of African American descent, Black descent, and and I believe that it does um, connect somewhat to a problem of insecurity, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to have our special guest Elle on today to touch in on a TV show that she introduced me to. The TV show is actually called Insecure as well. And Elle, if you could just give us a little bit and tie it in also, if you can, to the problems of racial injustice that we face as well.
I will try my best. Okay, so I introduced Terrence to the show called Insecure, which comes on HBO at 9 o'clock on Sunday nights. The show centers around two Black women, Issa and Molly, and how they deal with their friendship, their insecurities, their relationships, and everyday life and conflicts, social and racial struggles, things like that. It stars Issa Rae and Yvonne Orji. Kay, have you ever watched the show?
I'm sad to say I haven't, but I do have it on my list of things to binge watch.
Oh yeah, it is. It is great. It just had its season finale last Sunday. The episodes are really short. They're like 20, 30 minutes a piece, so you can binge watch the entire 4 seasons in no time. So definitely do that. It's a really great show. So in this particular episode that I'm going to talk about, it's from season 4, episode 7. It's called Low Key Tripping. And one of the characters, her name is Molly. Molly and her boyfriend Andrew, who is Asian, Molly is Black. They go on vacation to Mexico with Andrew's brother Victor, and Victor's wife Lydia. So they're at the pool, they're chilling in the pool, and somebody accidentally walks past Lydia and splashes water in her eye. Molly decides she's gonna go and get a beach towel from, the little, I guess, the cabana or whatever you get your towels from while you're out there. When she's walking up, the clerk is giving a white couple 2 towels, and then they walk up. So Molly walks up and she says, that she needs a towel. The hotel clerk asks her for her key card. And so she's just like, I stay here, but I don't have it on me. And the clerk is like, well, I need to see your key card in order to give you a towel. And Molly is like, well, you didn't ask the white couple that was before me for their key card, so I don't understand what's going on. So the clerk took offense, and she was like, I don't know what you're insinuating, but this is hotel policy. I need to see your key card. And so Molly started to trip on her, and then the clerk was like, ma'am, you need to calm down. I'm gonna have to call my manager. And Molly was like, over a key card. And so Victor comes over, he gives the clerk the key card, from his room. The clerk gives him the towel, and Molly snatches it and walks off. So when they get back to the pool, they're all having a conversation about what just took place. Molly was like, the clerk didn't, she only asked for my key card. And then Victor kind of proposed a couple of different things. He's like big on playing devil's advocate and things like that. So he asked her, what if this wasn't about race? What if the clerk was really simply doing their job? And so they had a further discussion about how they deal with these situations. And Molly told him that he probably doesn't get it or what's going on. And he's like, well, I have experienced racism, because he's Asian. I've experienced racism before. I experience it all the time, but how I react to it is my choice. You don't have to give it so much power. And so Molly just flew off the handle and cussed out Victor and left the pool and all this kind of stuff. So the questions that I wanted to bring up, not that I don't believe that there isn't racial injustice. I absolutely believe there's racial injustice. But from that situation, I wanted to ask these certain questions. The first question was, do we often see acts of racism where there are none? Is it racism simply because the people involved are 2 different races? And second question was, Victor's comment about how you react to racism. Is it possible to not give racism so much power? And I wanted to know your thoughts on it and our viewers' thoughts.
Now, that is a good question, because I've experienced different situations. I've experienced racism from other races as well as within my race. But right now we're going to talk about other races. I'm the type of person, anytime I go out in the public, I pay attention to all my surroundings.
Mhm.
I pay attention how people handle people or how people deal with people. I'm the type of person, if I'm sitting there and I notice that there's a certain policy or a procedure for certain things, especially like if you have to get liquor at the liquor store or make a purchase of a certain amount, they might ask you for your ID.
Mhm.
Now, if you decide 2 people in front of me not to ask for no ID, but when you get to me, now mind you, if everybody else in front of me is not black,
Mhm.
but then you get to me, all of a sudden now you need my ID, I'm going to ask you a question.
Mhm.
So what was the difference between me and the people in front of me that prompted you to ask for my ID?
Mhm.
Because see, I'm not going to get loud and get offended with that person, but I'm going to show them that I noticed something that you either subconsciously did not notice or you consciously noticed.
Mhm.
So we're going to need to redirect and correct your behavior when it comes to dealing with people. I know one thing for a fact that unfortunately, a lot of people, black people, I can only speak for my race at this point.
Mhm.
We're not that, some of us are not really good tippers when we go out to restaurants.
Correct.
So sometimes some of them think, some people think, especially when you go to certain restaurants, oh, I'm only going to get a certain amount of tips, so I'm only going to give you a certain amount of service. Now I hear you saying, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, to all these other tables, and you're bringing all these wines, and you're coming back and checking, but you're not checking on my table.
Mhm.
When I go out, I give greater than 20%. So I know I'm a great tipper.
Mhm.
And even great service, I need to talk to your manager to let them know how much of a great time that I had. I'm not going to give you $2 because I know you will probably only make $2.50 an hour. So I know that you're living off of tips. Also, I take in consideration, if I go to a restaurant, if I don't think I can afford to tip you, then I don't need to go to that restaurant. But see, that's me.
Mhm.
I ball within my means and within my budget.
Right.
But some people, they have that mental. I think people need to honestly stop stereotyping people and treating people contrary because of their skin tone.
Mhm.
Some places you can go, for example, into Walmart or even Target, and I've watched them watch me at self-checkout.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times I carry a backpack. Unfortunately, I have carpal 21 in my hands. Carrying some in my hand all day is not going to work. I don't even carry my phone in my hand all day.
Right.
So I might have a small backpack. I subconsciously have taught myself to, when I'm in the store with my backpack, don't even open it until I get to the register.
Right.
If my phone ring and it's not in my pocket, I'll just have to call you back when I get outside, because I don't want anybody feeling like, oh, I didn't put something in my backpack. So when you play back all those cameras, you saw I never opened my backpack, so there's no reason for me to hide anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that some people subconsciously, and I don't know if it's their training or just them as a person, they do treat different races differently when it comes to their approach for certain things and how they handle certain things. I've witnessed, like I said, people that don't get asked for an ID, but I do. Now, to go forward, am I going to react in a sense that I have to acknowledge it? I believe in acknowledging things in order for people to get an understanding and make them accountable going forward.
Mm-hmm.
If I just brush it off like, oh, well, they're just having a bad day, I tell people all the time, if you're having a bad day, don't take your tail to work.
Mm-hmm.
You might run across me. Because I know you have to pay your bills, but my pen is mightier than any sword. I know how to type a lovely email to your corporate office.
Right.
And have your job, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, you need to be mindful. If you're like the essential workers, I know they got tired over this whole Corona thing where like only the grocery store was open. You know, no beauty supply stores open, no hair stores, no what some in the black community might consider as essential, because I need me a good beauty supply store. But I'm just saying. But a lot of them weren't open. So I know that those that were inside the Walmart, even after reducing the hours, not having nothing on the shelves, the grocery store, reducing the hours, I know that they were tired. So I kind of let them slide to a degree. I even had an instance where I was in the Taco Bell drive-thru.
Mm-hmm.
We ordered something. We repeated the order. The guy repeated the order back. He gave us the order wrong. They're sitting there saying, oh, well, we got to charge you for this extra item. I'm not worried about the charge. Just give me what I paid for.
Right.
So you have a group of Hispanic boys standing there kicking. So I had to go ask for the manager. The manager was a young black girl. I said, let me tell you something, young lady. The way that they're treating your customers and making us have to back up and go for it and so on and so forth, it's looking bad up on you. I understand you guys are going through this COVID thing, but you guys need to get it together. I appreciate everything that you're doing, but you need to get it together. So like I say, with anything, any scenario, if they're outside of your race and you're realizing, I don't just jump and automatically say, oh, well, because I'm the only black person here, you're doing this. No, be observant. Pay attention to how they're treating other people first before you come to the pre-notion that it is a cultural or racial thing. Then from there, that's when you decide to elevate yourself. Don't talk to them. And this is one thing I don't understand. I'm going to say this loosely because I can say this. Don't talk to another race and call them, yeah, nigga, yeah, bro. No. How do you expect them to gauge you on your respect level if you're calling them the very thing you don't want them to call you?
Right.
Yep. I'm not going to address anybody as nigga, nigger, bro, bruh. That's not even in my vernacular. It's going to be yes, ma'am, yes, sir. If I know your name and I see it on your badge, yes, Mrs. Tina, yes, Mr. Allen, yes, Mr. Smith, whatever. That's how I'm going to address you. Because we're going to set a precedent that my respect level is a certain level that you're going to have to meet.
Right.
I'm not dumbing myself down. So that's another thing. Be observant. When you see it, you don't have to call it out, but you can be tactful about your response.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know I see you, because you're going to hold them to a different accountability. And even with that, if after you said what you said and you acknowledge what you've acknowledged, then you say, okay, now please speak to your manager.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, that lets that person know that you mean business. You're not just lip service. You're not just bumping. Like you see these TMZ videos out here and throwing stuff across the counter. Why are you tearing up the store?
Right.
Because that worker who might, like we said earlier, brought their home issues to work.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, observation will determine if it's actually a racial issue or not. Gotcha. In those type of situations. Like if you didn't want to give me a towel, that's cute. So I just would have probably stood there to the next person and be like, okay, well, you didn't ask them.
Right. Right. I'm gonna watch this next interaction. And if you don't ask this person for the key card, we about to have a problem.
Exactly. Can I talk to the manager, please? Because I just witnessed 3 other people come up here that were not black. Mm-hmm. Did not get asked for a key card, but mysteriously, I get asked for one. So is that your loss? Only ask black people? Because we might need to write that. I might need to contact your corporate office to get an understanding. Because right now, I don't understand.
Right.
So that's what we need to do. Be proactive. Let your pen be mightier than your sword. Also, let your dollar ring. Carry your dollar somewhere where they appreciate it.
Yep. Bring your money somewhere else. Exactly.
And y'all black business out here, I hate to say this, but y'all need to up y'all customer service. That's all I got to say. Because I didn't order a shirt from this one black business online. I love the shirt, but it's been over a month. And you talking about your distributor hasn't distributed them because of the COVID. Well, you should have put that notification on my ordering description so I could decide if I still want to order from you.
Right.
Don't keep holding my coin.
On the website, somewhere in my email, somewhere on my order, at least give me the choice of whether I want to.
If I want to wait till Christmas.
If I want to wait, right. If I want to wait till Christmas for my shirt, let me make that choice, because now I ordered this shirt, I'm expecting it within a week, and you talking about a month later, well, I don't have my shirt. Oh, your distributor, son, run me my money back. Like,
exactly.
No.
Because I can go spend my money with another black business so I can have my stuff within a week. So, yeah, but I do believe that you, like I say, you have to be observant. Mm-hmm. Don't act out your color. Everything does not revolve around a head turn, eye roll, snap, who gonna check me. Your best check come from a pen and a paper, an email to the corporate office. And you just politely acknowledging that you see that there's a discrepancy in your treatment from them to me.
I love the way that this episode was recorded because it left a lot to be speculated. Like I said, when the scene happened, Molly was just walking up, like the lady was literally lifting herself up, giving them the towel. So we didn't get to see anything before that. And it was really great to have this discussion with other people. Like, did we actually really did we really actually witness racism just now? And what if it wasn't? And just everybody called this brother Victor, they call him all kind of buttholes and things like that because he brought those questions to the discussion. And in a way I was like, well, in other parts of the episode, yeah, you can kind of tell he could be a bit of a butthole. But I also felt like it was a conversation that needed to be had. Like, do we often see these issues where we think it's racism, but it may not be?
We do,
but there's a few. But I also think that a lot of people, especially for Victor in this situation, you have the choice to be able to react the way you can react. Like, but for us who experience this individually and collectively as an entire race every single day, some of us kind of get tired of turning that other cheek. You know,
I told y'all earlier I got 4.
Yeah, it's like when I'm tired of turning the top cheeks, you're gonna have to do something with these bottom cheeks real hard, and we get tired of it. We get tired of seeing it. Like if it's not happening to us directly, we get tired of it happening to people who look like us. Like, this could be my mother. This could have been my uncle. This could have been my sister. This could have been my brother. So when we do have that situation where it happens to us, or it happens sometime close to home, we don't emotionally have that luxury of just being like, oh, well, it just happened, oh, well, I can just like put this off to the side because it's happening too often,
And that's truth. That's truth what you're saying. But let me ask you this. Do you think a lot of times it happens, and when it happens, it does not faze the person that it happens to in regards to the person who's dishing out the racism? Because they're so programmed for us to react in an outrageous way. If our reaction would change sometimes, that would change how they view us as a people. Now, I'm not saying don't go tear up some stuff, because the Bible say the kingdom that suffers violence, take it by force. That is my scripture. I will have that on my tombstone or my urn. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm like, everybody's always asking me, what Jesus are you, baby Jesus? You cross it. I said, no, I'm the one that went in and turned over the tables. That's the Jesus that dwell in me, okay? That is the Jesus that dwells in me. Everybody have a different part of Jesus. That some people got the Jesus that sat amongst the people and learned for 12. That's not me. I'm the one that's gonna say, "Oh no, boo, turn it over." But before I turn it over, I'm gonna get you learned.
Right. I got belligerent Jesus in my blood.
Okay. We got that good Jesus. That what we ain't gonna do is that. We're gonna do it decent and in order, but if you don't want to do it decent and in order, I can show you another way. That's when that last cheek then got turned. Because Jesus turned all 4 of them cheeks before he bow. You know what I'm saying? Just turn it over. No. And people gotta understand that.
That Jesus that's sick of y'all. That's the Jesus.
Okay. Right there. Y'all think, because I done prayed for y'all. I done heal some people that I don't have no gangster inside of me. Try me. Y'all must have checked my daddy. He could turn all this upside down. I'm gonna let y'all know. That's the part that they don't want to. I'm just. We're gonna start off with meek and mild Jesus.
Right.
At the beginning, them first 2 top cheeks. Then we're gonna get to the bottom 2 cheeks is gonna be the healing Jesus. Because I'm gonna have to lay these hands next. And once all that's gone, we're gonna turn that table over.
That's what's gonna happen.
So I just need people, when it comes to dealing with stuff like this, you handle yourself a certain way first. Let them know I can be classy about this at first.
Right.
But like I say, don't make me put the plastic on the Bible. Put it to the side to let you know. My ancestors ran through the bush with spears. Hey, I will channel them. So that's just how I am. I be trying to get the people to understand. Be nice at first, cordial. Kill them with kindness.
I was about to say, kill them with kindness, because some of them ain't seeing that coming. They ready for you to get ignorant, and they ready for you.
Yeah, they ready for that bonnet to come off. Right. And I be telling people, how you expect somebody to respect you? You go outside with a whole bonnet on. Take that bonnet off before you go in the store, so they know you mean business.
Right.
got that bonnet on top of your head and your house slides on. Put on shoes.
Them pants you've been wearing for the past 2-3 days, please.
Been wearing since Corona started. You know what I'm saying? Take that off. You put on some clothes. Get you some respect. What you wear inside your house is your house. When you go outside, you need to put some respect on it. Put some respect on your name. So when they hear me say my name, they know I mean business. They're not looking at me cross-eyed in the store because I came here with a bonnet on and some house slippers and a robe.
Right.
They know I mean business because I came here with a wallet in my hand. Mm-hmm. My hair is done and my clothes are clean without stain. And I have on some proper foot attire. Come on, people.
Right. You're
people
right.
will only treat you how you present yourself.
Yes.
They know I mean business when I step in the room. I'm not going to play with you.
Absolutely.
So like I said, my pen is mightier than my sword. I've learned how to take down names real quick on that phone while they sitting up there talking and rolling their eyes. I'm like, okay. Thank you, Miss Michelle.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I put out a whole description in that phone. Then I'll go to the next person. Excuse me, can I get the number to your corporate office?
Right.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay, I'm writing down your name too, because you don't have the corporate office number.
How you don't know the number to your corporate office? How you don't even offer to find it for me? You know what? Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm.
But see, some people think that's too much, but that's not too much. That's how you get respect, because it's not gonna pay. And I hate to say it like this, but it's not gonna pay me to waste my energy on somebody that's low at the totem pole. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you respect, but me going off on you it's not gonna pay me. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go above you because they get paid to deal with discrepancies. They get paid to dish out additional training. So I'm not gonna go for you at a lower level. I'm gonna treat you with the same respect, but I'm gonna let you know you're wrong in a nice, respectful way. I don't have to call you no B's, no hoes, no niggas, no bros, none of that. I don't have to do that. But like I said, people need to adjust how they talk to people. I'm not saying that you have to speak proper English. I speak a lot of broken English. Half time I don't know if I'm speaking English because I talk so fast. You know. But you're gonna understand what I mean.
Right. You're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep.
And if my mouth don't get these eyebrows when they go up and down, you really gonna understand what I mean. Or these eyes buck a couple times, like, oh,
my
did they just say what I thought they said?
All.
Exactly. I'm trying to be delivered from the face demon, but it's still just it's like, what'd you say? Say it again, please.
Me and my face demon is buddies. We is in it, friends to the end. Like I can't hide nothing on this face. Like
what they say, say it in my good ear.
Words, but that face gonna be like, play with me if you want.
See, that's that temple Jesus rising up. Rising up. We trying to tell them. Jesus. I'm just saying, y'all need to tell y'all in a temple of Jesus. But make sure you get baby Jesus to roll through first before the temple Jesus roll up, okay? Be meek and mild first. Right. Let all the 4 cheeks turn, and then let temple Jesus come through, okay?
Yes.
And that mean you got to tear up everything. Just tear up what's in front of you, okay?
Right.
Leave some stuff for other people to tear up.
All right. Because it's going to happen again, so they're going to need some stuff to tear up too.
Yeah, okay. To let them know we ain't playing. You can't tear everything by yourself. Tag me in. Goodness. I'm just saying. But yeah, we're about to get it together. But I'm gonna have to binge watch this Insecure. Because honestly, I can tell by that episode you just explained to me. I'm probably gonna be on the edge of my bed yelling at the TV screen a couple times. I'm that dramatic person. I just be like, no.
Girl, it's a lot of drama and it happens really quickly because the episodes are 30 minutes. And so you're going to be just getting into that episode and then those credits going to come on and you're going to be like, what?
See, what else? So you guys have a show to watch. We all underneath this COVID watch. Yes, the city is somewhat open, if not halfway or 3/4 of the way. But to keep from getting the COVID, the coronas, it's not the H1N1, the COVID-19. Baby, I'm about to make them have a fillet.
You bringing it all the way back.
I'm gonna need we done had it. Anything they gotta do with a sinus cold, fatigue, lethargicalness, dehydration. What you think might be allergies, but really is the COVID. Right. I mean, you gotta stay in the house, not come out. But they got this nice full season television show you can watch. Insecure. You could probably pull up on a Fire Stick. You might be able to pull up on Roku. However you pronounce that thing. Would you say HBO? You know, everybody ain't paying for their cable, so y'all know y'all.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, if you know somebody that's got HBO Go, if they paying for HBO on cable, get their login information, log in and watch you some Insecure and some other good stuff on HBO. But definitely take advantage of Insecure. It is a really, really good show.
But I'm going to say this quote real quick that's really thought-provoking. It's from Malcolm X. The quote is, "You're not to be so blind with patriotism that you can't face reality. Wrong is wrong, no matter who does it or say it."
I know that's right.
So that's something to think about. All those who want to be, oh, this America, this is America. This is the country. We shed our blood for this country, but you're still wrong in your action from hating those. Because last time I checked, and I'm going to take it straight spiritual, then we're going to slide on out because I can't stay there too long because then I might start speaking in tongues, okay? But the scriptures say God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. God so loved the world, which is everybody. He didn't say God so loved the whites. He didn't say God so loved the blacks. He didn't say God so loved the Asians. He didn't say God so loved the Hispanics. He didn't say God so loved the LGBTQ community. He said God so loved the world. And once you realize that you live in this world, you need to attribute and possess, and you need to portray, and you need to push out God's love onto the world. So that's something to think about. But anyway, next week on Grace Talks, we will be talking about what also may be considered as a controversial topic. It's called the overlooked Black woman.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I want to be here for that one.
The history of Black women is so profound, and we are constantly overlooked, not understanding or not being understood that we are the breath of this world. And I say that lightly. We are the breath of this world. Well, next time on Grace Talks, we will be talking about the overlooked Black woman. I would like to thank Elle for showing up today and showing out and giving us her presence and her viewpoint. And T, he's somewhere. We'll find him somewhere, but he's somewhere. But I hope y'all tune back in next week. This is Kay. We're getting ready to sign out. Like I said earlier, I said signed out. See, there go to English again. We're getting ready to sign out. Like I said earlier, if you have any questions or any comments or would like any episode topics, please send your emails to grace_talks. That's talks with an S at grace-4-life.com. I'm going to spell that for you. That is GRACE_TALKS at symbol GRACE-4-LIFE.com. Well, I hope y'all have a great day. Y'all enjoyed this podcast, and we'll be back to talk a little more, and so y'all can grow with us with a little grace. Goodbye, y'all.
Bye. If you have a question or would like us to discuss a specific topic, Grace Talks wants to hear from you. You can email us at gracetalks@grace4life.com. That's grace_talks at grace-4-life.com.